I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my creative healing course is filled with hours of exclusive content. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about who's most likely to want to get back together with an ex.
Okay.
Well, that was a mouthful.
Yes, it is a mouthful.
But what am I talking about?
What you're talking about is who is the most desperate to get back with an ex.
That's an interesting thing to know, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
If you're trying to figure out if you can get your ex back, who's most likely to come back around again?
Yep.
Margaret's got some really good research on this one.
I found this to be very interesting and potentially very helpful. Okay. Now I'm quoting a gentleman named Gary Lewandowski, who is a PhD psychologist, and I've read some of his stuff with great interest, so I think I will pursue his thinking a little further when I have time.
Okay. What does he got to say?
He starts by saying we don't like endings. We don't like to lose things.
And you've been saying that about Freud for years.
Yes, I have.
That Freud was very clear on that.
Absolutely clear on that. In fact, said that our unconscious thinks that all relationships should be forever.
That sounds reasonable.
I think so too. And we're very offended when it turns out that somebody we love isn't going to be there forever.
Yeah.
Very good, Craig. You remembered your Freud. That's especially true when when what we're losing is central to our lives and helps define who we are as a person. That's why ending romantic relationships hurts so much. In a high-quality relationship, we grow close to our partner in ways that make us a better person. Even if the relationship wasn't ideal, your life was enmeshed with the relationship with your ex-partner, making a sense of loss inevitable. In fact, the more your previous relationship was part of who you are as a person, for example, I'm her girlfriend, he's my boyfriend.
The identity.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Or we are a couple, so I'm so-and-so's boyfriend or girlfriend, and we are a couple. Can create confusion about our sense of self.
Okay.
And this has been linked to being depressed.
So the more that we feel like a unit with somebody else, the more depressed we're going to be when we break up?
When they're gone and you're no longer so-and-so's boyfriend, and you no longer can say, this is my partner, we are a couple.
Yeah.
If that really leaves you, when the relationship breaks up, if that leaves you with almost not knowing who you are, then that's a disaster.
Okay.
Okay? And, depending on how healthy you are, it would be better or worse. The healthier you are, the better it would be. The less healthy you are, the more confused you'd be.
Okay.
I don't know who I am if it's not in relation to this person. Okay? New research from a gentleman named Morgan Cope of Florida Atlantic University has explored the desire to rekindle past relationships. Participants were asked to think about how much they wanted to get back together with their former partner and about their attachment anxiety. The findings suggest an interesting dynamic that may happen after a breakup. Losing a relationship can be a destabilizing experience that creates self-confusion.
Yep.
Especially for those with greater attachment anxiety. Okay? If you felt like your partner helped make you feel like you, the obvious solution is to get back with the partner, because now you're not feeling like yourself at all. All right? So you want that person, doesn't it? Yeah, so you want that person back. Or, as the study title cleverly suggests, individuals are putting me back together, by getting back together. Okay? So the only thing that's going to make me feel like a whole person again, make me feel like me, is getting back with you.
Wow.
All right?
That's some really unconscious stuff,
That is
though,
some
right?
really unconscious stuff. And Coach Victoria was talking about that in a recent piece that we did with her. So the more you're put together and have a self-concept, the better you're going to handle a breakup. Okay? All right. But what if getting back together is impossible? What can you do to make things better? How can you get rid of obsessions and ruminations? We know what all those are, right? Ruminations meaning you chew it over again and again. Intrusive thoughts about other people being with your ex, okay? Loss of a way of life and a sense of oneself in relation to an intimate other. Loss of relationship for some can be tantamount to a loss of self.
Well, it seems to me that the most important thing that you could do is become more confident in who you are. And this is, I didn't read the article.
No.
This is me speculating of becoming more whole as a person by working through your stuff. Right?
Absolutely. And I was just laughing when I go to the second page. It's the same answer we have for every problem on earth. Work on yourself. Okay? So how do you do that? First, it is important to be aware. Okay?
Can't fix a problem if you don't know what it is.
No, you certainly can't. Noticing over-dependency. You know, if you feel like you can't brush your teeth without your partner, you might want to think about that. And identity...
And I had somebody recently that told me in the call, the girlfriend wanted to be with the guy nonstop, all 24/7, including, he even mentioned brushing their teeth together.
Wow.
And that's why I was like, boy.
Well, that's the case for us here. Yeah. Okay.
Hopefully he watches this one.
So if you're into that kind of almost over-dependency and identity entanglement, that's an interesting phrase, and addressing them actively can make all the difference in the world. In other words, if you're aware of this, that it might not be altogether a good idea to need somebody else to brush your teeth with, then you might begin to realize that this is a bit much. It's important to tolerate post-breakup confusion and ambiguity. Now, when we say tolerate, that means don't push it away, don't deny it, feel the feelings. Okay, a common message from us. So, feel the feelings of the post-breakup confusion and ambiguity. You need to feel those things to get to the other side, especially when there is an excessive fear of loss and being alone. Okay?
Yes.
So here's a word a phrase that I have now learned is quite well known. Self-concept clarity. How's that? Is the axis around which identity and enmeshment may revolve. Now, enmeshment is being totally tangled up with someone, the implication being that you can't get free.
Yeah.
Okay? So, self-concept clarity. All right. It is defined as the extent to which self-beliefs are clearly and confidently defined. Okay? Internally consistent and stable.
Okay.
Now, I can think of several very bright people I know who have well-defined opinions on a bunch of things that absolutely contradict each other. Okay? So, if you really have self-clarity, then your thinking on various issues somehow meshes together. All right? So, self-clarity, you could call it 101 other things, but it's being sure who you are. Okay? The most common questions to figure out who you are is to ask yourself very simply, who am I? What am I? What are my beliefs about my ethnicity, my religion, my politics, current events in the world, ethics, relationships, etc.? It means to take the time to see what you think about yourself and the world around you.
Yep.
Okay? And that's how you build a sense of identity, and what did we call it? Self-concept clarity. You may have to remind yourself that you have the right to all of your own thoughts and judgments, and that you are smart enough to make them. Because I can think of people who came from so many families with so much negativity. It would sort of even be, well, I couldn't think about all these things, and who'd be interested in my opinion? Yes, you can think of all these things. You have a right to think about all these things, and you have a right to your opinion. Okay? Yeah. So you might have to remind yourself of that in some cases. If you came from negative circumstances and received little positive feedback about your abilities, this task can be more difficult.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we always say the same thing. Whatever the problem is, work on yourself. But it makes perfect sense to us that the more stable your own identity is, the better you're going to be able to handle a breakup.
Yeah. And you could look at the workbooks and the course for
Yes.
that. I think the course even more so would really go into those
Right.
things, because there's a
Right.
lot in the unconscious and the...
But if you're unsure who you are and you're counting on your partner to kind of define you, then it's going to be devastating, and your anxiety is going to be absolutely off the wall. Okay?
Good stuff.
Okay. And I think it's a theme that we can refer back to.
Yep. If you like it, let us know in the comments so we continue to explore it.
Yeah.
Give us the feedback. Give Margaret a thumbs up for all her research on this one.
Yeah, please do.
We like to know. That way Margaret can continue doing the same topic.
Yeah, the feedback is
again.
really helpful.
Yeah. Of course, when you want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret, of course, is available for Skype coaching.
If you feel that I can be helpful to you, please sign up.
Yeah, and of course, she's helpful. Click on Margaret at the top of the website to do that. That's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon. To get my help personally, go to askcraig.net and click on Schedule Coaching and choose the option that works best for you. I do email coaching or Skype. To schedule a coaching with Margaret, click on Margaret on the top of the page and order a Skype with her. For the Knowledge Creative Healing course, click on the link at the top of the page and click Get Started Now.